Hi, everyone. So it is 3:30 right now. So I'm going to just wait 2 more minutes because I believe that Vanessa will be coming as well. So I'm just going to give it 2 more minutes for her to arrive as well. So we'll start at 3:32. All right, so it is 3:31 and I'm calling this meeting of the Communications and Outreach Subcommittee to order. So the first item on our agenda is to call attendance. So Madeline,
Here.
Ahmed,
Yeah.
Ala is not going to be able to make it because she has a basketball game, and Vanessa.
Here.
All right. So next on the agenda is public comment. So do we have any members of the public wishing to speak? All right, so seeing none, our next item is to approve the meeting minutes from December 16th. So at our last meeting, Ala was voted in as the secretary, but she couldn't be here today. So she asked if I could give her summary of the meeting minutes. So to summarize, at our last meeting, it was called into order at 7:02 p.m. and we unanimously approved the meeting minutes from October 26th. And subsequently, Ala was nominated as clerk and was unanimously elected. Then we were supposed to have our presentation on the social media and my liaison meeting, but we decided that it would be best if it was held at the next youth council meeting, which it was. And then we had a short discussion on our social media. We were talking about just having more posts for more engagement, and potentially working towards a larger followings. And then we had a discussion on our Snow Angels promotion, how we talked about how a press release went out into the daily item. An article was written in the Wakefield Patch. We're up on the morning announcements at the school system, and we posted on Instagram as well. And then we subsequently adjourned unanimously. So do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
So now I'm going to call the roll. So Madeline,
Yes.
Ahmed,
Yeah.
and Vanessa.
Yes.
All right, so those are unanimously approved. All right, so next on our agenda is we're going to have a discussion on our social media outreach methods and discussing our posting calendar. So these are some of the takeaways from my meeting with Jen McDonald. And one of the major things that we had talked about is a posting calendar. So I assume that this would be a Google Doc, likely because we all have access to that. And I would be the one that's managing that because due to open meeting law, we can only have one person managing it. So from that doc, there would be a list of dates, each with what would have to be posted on Instagram and Facebook. So that way we could have a system in place to regularly post to meet that 2 to 3 times a week mark. And so in line with that, we would be moving towards posting about what's going on in town, especially if we don't have anything specifically youth council related to post about, and also getting back into the habit of posting our meetings, which I know that Madeline put up a post for our meeting tomorrow. So those would be, so the meeting post, those would be 2 days in advance, and then we would do a story post the day of the meeting. So in regards with that, I'm going to check in with Jen to see if she has any templates for the posting calendar. and also to see how we would make it viewable to the subcommittee. I know that Madeline would have to have access to it to view because she runs the Instagram. And I want to know if it would be allowed if more people would be able to view it in general. So with that, if anyone has any ideas to post, anything that they hear around town, please always email me because we were always looking for opportunities to post. So does anyone have any, before I move on to our other outreach, our other outreach methods, do any of you have any questions regarding posting calendar and how we would be moving forward with that? Madeline?
Excuse me. First of all, I love that idea. I think that would be very, very helpful. But I wanted to, this is a question I'm not sure if you'll be able to answer,
Mhm.
but something that I was looking into because the past like month when we've started to really start posting more has also ended up being one of the craziest months of my life, just like with scheduling issues and stuff. So I know that there's a way to set up scheduled posting where I can make like 8 posts and then have them get posted at a later time, kind of like you can do with emails, I know.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if that would be within our guidelines in terms of a town council account, or if not.
All right, yeah, that's a really good question. So I will definitely follow up with Jen on that for scheduling posts. That's a great question. I hadn't thought of that before. And also in the same vein as that, I wanted to talk about Madeline. So I know that you were able to, I know that you said that you were able to find a way to link the Instagram and Facebook. Am I correct on that?
Yes, but I don't think, I believe that last time we were looking into it, there was an issue with the Facebook, or was there
Yes.
there's a new sign in for that now?
So the way that we learned that with Facebook, there is an admin. It works as there's an admin. So it would be basically connected to one of our to a pre-existing Facebook account. So I believe that if you wanted to link it, you would have to link it to your account. Like I know that Vanessa is an admin on it and Catherine is an admin on it. So I believe that. So do you have a pre-existing Facebook account or?
I believe so, and I believe so, because I know that I downloaded it at some point to try and no, okay, so I just have to like re-download it.
Okay.
If not, then I can definitely create an account, and once I know how to do that, like I'm sure that I could find like a YouTube video or something, because I know I've heard a lot of people talk about it's very easy to just like hit post and it goes to both places.
Yeah, and also Jen McDonald sent me an article on how to link them. So I think
Perfect.
send that to you. So I'll do that. And once you get that with your Facebook account, we can add you as an admin definitely, so that way you can start doing the linked posts. So
Thank you so much. And I can also like, once that, are the Meet the Members posts currently going there as well? Like, are people taking them or are they not on Facebook at all at the moment?
I'm not sure if they're on Facebook. Vanessa, do you know if they're on Facebook?
I don't think so, because for right now, I think would have to specifically post them onto Facebook since we haven't figured out to link them.
Yeah.
But also, Madeline, if you wanted to reach out to people that you haven't gotten like a photo for or other information for the Meet the Members, you could go into the contact sheet that I sent out to everyone. I can send it again if you don't have it, but maybe reach out to people specifically if you still haven't received.
I actually just did the other day, and now Drewvy's mom actually emailed me some photos, but they were all of him as a baby. So I responded and just it was like asking basically if there's anything a bit more recent, just so that he's recognizable.
Yeah.
And I believe Thomas is the last person, but other than that, I now everyone else was able to respond, and I believe that I counted and they'll finish getting posted this Friday. I think that this Friday will be the last day if we do it every day. So they should finish up then.
All right, so let me know if you get a response back from Thomas, and if not, I can talk to him in school about that. So thank you for updating us on the Meet the Members posts, definitely. So
I'm also not sure how to do the posting like ahead of time, but I know you can like make drafts. So if you were to make like a full post, but you didn't want to post it, then you could just save it as a draft so that when you do want to like post it, then you can just have it ready and just shoot it out. So that's another thing that we could do for now before we figure out a long-term solution.
yes, yeah, I just added that to my notes, so I will email Jen about that as well to make sure that we're allowed to do that. So now with our social media outreach methods, I know that we've been talking a bit about using Reels. So I just wanted to talk a little bit more about that. So as someone who doesn't use Instagram, so how would we be able to implement those potentially? So exactly, I know that there are short videos. So what are like some like general ideas on how we could implement those?
So something in particular that I had talked about with Jonathan Chines at our first meeting when we were at the beginning of this youth council term, was that he was wondering if we would do some Instagram outreach regarding the new high school. And something that I was kind of thinking we could probably do some reels about that, whether it be because we cannot say as a council we support a new high school, but we can talk about experiences that we've had. And I know that it's a kind of fine line to walk, but Jonathan said that he thinks that it would be a very doable thing. And that we could talk about experiences or things that we've seen. Like I know one of my teachers just discovered mold in her classroom, like things like that, that we could kind of just
It's more
touch on.
I really like that idea, especially since it would be more informing, well, not because like you said,
Exactly.
can't endorse the new high school for or against. So yeah, I definitely like that idea, and I think that we could definitely do some follow-up with this even at our meeting tomorrow, talking about this a little bit more. So for those, like so basically what you're saying is like we could do reels about like how like our experience in the high school is, and like just bringing like shedding more light on the average everyday experience of the students at the Wakefield High School. So I definitely like that idea, and I feel like that would be a great way to really shed some light on both our account and a specific thing that's really affecting the youth in our town. And in regards to that, in the same line as the new high school, I know that at our last meeting, Mr. Chines brought up that there will be a vote soon on the high school at a town meeting, and then there'll be a special election. I know that we've promoted the voter registration in the past for the for a town election, and I feel like it would be a good opportunity to promote the town meeting and special election as well, without endorsing either side, just reminding people that to register to vote, and that to actually vote in these elections. So I feel like that would be a good set of posts that we could do. Yes, Vanessa.
Another post idea would be, I was thinking maybe like for holidays or like events like that. So like MLK coming up. Also another post that I think relating to that, that Catherine kind of talked to me and Aaliyah about at least, was the Wakefield Human Rights Commission and their event that's happening on MLK. And I think they're also having a little like poetry and like that, like, and coloring page, like competition contest thing. And I noticed that the Wakefield, I think youth action team, I think they posted something for it. So we could always like do more reposting too. I know we talked about that, so we could repost theirs, post something of our own. But I think something for like holidays, or things like I'm okay, like on that day, we could post something on the story, just so that we have something else. That's
Mhm.
just an idea.
Yes, and I was actually going to follow up with this later in the meeting today, talking about this. The event that the Wakefield Human Rights Commission is having on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So I did see Catherine's email, and I just finished the post right before this meeting. So I'm just wrapping up the caption section, and then I'll send it over to you, Madeline, to have it posted on Instagram. Because I feel like that's a great event that we should promote from the Human Rights Commission. Yes, Madeline?
I think that those are amazing ideas, and I think that that would also really help with like having something to fill gaps if there's a stretch of time where there isn't something huge happening with the youth council and we're like kind of working on a bigger project, then we can post about a holiday or some other separate things. But something that reminded me of is the is Wakefield Alliance Against Violence is, I believe, someone from them had just emailed me because I've done like some volunteer work with them in the past about they're going to be trying out later meetings because usually they're at like 10 a.m. on a work school day,
Mhm.
so students wouldn't be able to attend. But they're going to be trying out later times at like 5 o'clock at night or something. So sometime if like students or youth wanted to pop into those meetings, then that's something that will now be available. And additionally, like working parents and whoever else might follow us that would be kind of within the range of people that would need it to be at a later time. So I was thinking maybe we could post something along the lines of that.
Yeah, I definitely like that idea, especially since the Wave is such a great organization and the work that they do is really important. So I think that would be a great set of posts promoting that, because I feel like it is, especially we can definitely gear it towards the youth, because I'm sure that they would love to have more youth input. So do you know when these meetings are going to start happening? Like just like a general time frame?
I am checking my email right now because I like just got the email a few days ago. So I'm gonna find that quickly. The first one will be on Thursday, January 19th at 7 p.m. at WCAT Studios.
Okay, I wrote that down.
And additionally, she had also talked about the fact it was that February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, and Wave was looking for some youth to help implement some different initiatives revolving around that. So if the youth council wanted to do, I know that I'm not sure that we can work with Wave on things, correct?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I feel like we've talked about that. Like last term, we talked a little bit about working with Wave, but I don't think it ever came to fruition. But I think, yeah, we should be able to work with them. And I feel like it's a great point that you brought up that February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, because I feel like we could do some great posts about that, just with like regarding information and education with that.
Yeah.
So I wrote that down, the January 19th meeting date. So we can do some follow-up with Wave and see if they would like us to post about that, about their meeting. I feel like that would be a great thing to post about. So thank you for that. And then, so the other thing that I wanted to talk about on this agenda item, actually, that was it. That was the last thing for the agenda for item number 5. So does anyone have any other things that they'd like to talk about in regards to our outreach methods and the posting calendar, or any of the other things that we talked about during this item?
Well, I did share with at least, I think, Ali and Madeline. I did send you guys an email with the login information. Some of it we still don't have all of it. And I don't have access to the email. I've talked to Catherine about it, and I'm still not sure, so I might do a follow-up with her. And I think Ali, you were going to also reach out to her about that. So
Yeah.
I think she is the only one who has access or could have the possibility of having the access to our email. But I put in all the information with the logins and passwords and all that stuff into a Google Doc just so that we have it in one place. If anything's incorrect or like it needs to be updated, feel free to. I think you should have access to editing it, but I figured it would just be good to have it all in one place.
Yeah, I did check it out and everything there is correct. And what you said about the email address, yeah, I think that that's really important. And I'm happy that you're going to follow up with Catherine about that. Because I believe last term, there was a sort of transition with the town transitioning the account between chairs. So yeah, I would recommend following up with Catherine on that. And I can shoot her an email too about that. So moving on to item number 6. So item number 6 is setting a goal to grow social media following. So with our increased posting, I think it would be a great idea for us to set a concrete goal and a time frame to grow our following, because so currently we have 332 followers on Instagram, and I don't know how many followers we have on Facebook. So I was thinking about having a goal anywhere from the 390 to 500 range. What do you guys think? And considering that I'm not as familiar with social media, so what do you guys think would be a strong goal that potentially we could get done by the end of this term, which is in June?
I think around like 430, 440 would be a very, very reasonable goal. Anything over 500 would be unreasonable, considering that I don't think our social media could grow that fast, that quick with the amount of posts that we're currently putting out.
I agree. And also Instagram is one of the harder platforms to grow followers on, not necessarily with like interaction and stuff. Like a lot, like you tend to get more views but less people necessarily following. So I think maybe a little bit of a lower goal, I think around like in the 400s would be attainable, especially seeing as we have like 6 months to get there.
Yeah, I definitely think that those I definitely think that those are great ideas. And so how do we think that we would be able to get there to that point? So I was thinking, like, do we do posters that we hang up around the schools and around town with the QR code to our social media account, like incorporating that into posters? And we can also get it on the town kiosks, potentially, just like promoting the youth council and stuff. And I know that's something else that me and Jen talked about, was using the WCAT in between programming. We could potentially also try to utilize that. And while we're also promoting our Instagram, we could simultaneously be promoting our Facebook as well. So what are some ideas that you have? Any ideas that any of you have?
Well, one thing that I just wanted to mention was, I think Madeline kind of touched on this a little bit, but I think views are also very important, not just like following. And I'm still like getting used to like using more of like using social media as more of a business platform and seeing like the insights and all that stuff. So I'm not sure how all that works. But at least on our Facebook, when I posted like the snow angels thing, I think it got like 3,000 like views or something. Like it did very well, especially because I feel like a lot of adults use Facebook more. So like I think Jonathan Chines and some other people on like town council, school committee, that type of thing, they reposted our post and things like that. So then it like got an even bigger audience. So I guess I like didn't realize how many people our Facebook could also reach. So I think although the Instagram is very important, we cannot forget about the Facebook too.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that completely, because an important aspect of really reaching the youth is through the adults of this town. So I definitely take that in mind. So definitely with that. So simultaneously promoting our Instagram and Facebooks around the town to increase our following and our viewership on those. So I think that those are great points that all of you make. So do we have anything else that we'd like to talk about in regards to growing our social media following and goals? All right, so next, item 7 is our youth interest survey. So we've had this for a few years now. It's been on our Instagram. It's a survey. So actually, I meant to share my screen to show you all this. So the youth interest survey, it's an opportunity for the youth in our town to share some of their insights with us through a Google form. So let me see if I can get this open. I can share it with you guys. Are you guys able to see that?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the current youth interest survey. So we ask, so we give this at the top, just explaining what the Youth Council is. And then we ask several questions, with the major thing being what would people like to see the Youth Council really address? And then we also give people the opportunity to speak during our public comment section, or potentially reading a letter, us reading a letter to them, or just sending a letter to us. And this just really gives the youth an opportunity to really voice some of their ideas that they have in what we can do. So I was thinking that we could get this youth interest survey, we could just tweak a little bit, and then we could get it sent by the administrations at the high school and the Galvin out to the student body. And I just saw, like I believe last week, like a survey from Senator Lewis's office was similarly sent out at the high school. So I was thinking that we could do this to really get some insight on what the youth of our town would like to see us tackle, like some stuff that we hadn't really thought of before. Yes, Madeline?
I think that's a fabulous idea. And this just kind of gave me an idea of when people receive this, they may not really know what the youth council is. And I know I had kind of very quickly thrown together a kind of information sheet on who we are, what we do, what are some of our initiatives. And we may want to have that get handed out by teachers if possible, like social studies or history teachers. At the high school and middle school, like that may be something to spread kind of the idea of what we are, so that they can then, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
those two things can kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, definitely. And is that on a Google Doc? Or
Yes, it is. And also,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just want to quickly add, I have to jump off in a couple of minutes. Like I can
Okay.
finish this, but then I have to run, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's fine. So I feel like that would, I really like how you said like printing them out and handing them out. And I feel like if we also wanted to, we could add in the link to it on the survey. So when people are doing the survey, they can see it when they when they're opening it up. And I feel like that would be a great way for people to really understand what the Youth Council is and what we do, especially since we a lot of people don't really know understand what we do. So Vanessa, did I see your hand go up?
Yeah, another idea that I feel like we could do later on in the year, especially when we start having more applicants for next year, is maybe like we could go into like the middle school and maybe like talk about kind of what we do. Because I'm pretty sure, I feel like other groups or like clubs and stuff have done that like in the past. Like I feel like I remember other people doing that. Also, I think I'm not sure if it's already happened, but aren't there normally isn't there normally a day where like the incoming freshmen like go and see like the clubs and all that stuff?
I
I know
believe,
I know
yeah.
at Contemporary Thought Club, Miss Hughes said that. So I don't know if we'd be able to participate in that too, since we're technically not a part of
Yeah.
the school, but maybe we could see if we could also do that.
Yeah, I feel like that's a great idea because I don't think that that's happened yet, and I feel like that would be a great opportunity for us to like really like reach out to the incoming freshmen of the school. And you bring up a good point with I don't know if we would be allowed to do that since we're not school affiliated and we're town affiliated. But I feel like that would be a good opportunity if we're allowed to do that. So do you know who we would have to contact to see? I don't know if it's do you have any idea of how we would reach out to anyone to actually like be able to be present at that event?
I'm not even sure like really what it's called. But I feel like we could reach out to Miss Hughes because I know she mentioned it specifically about contemporary thought, but I know there's a bunch of different groups. And I think anyone in administration would probably know. So like principals, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
I can.
think Miss Delori had a big part in organizing it. Like
Okay.
I remember because I went to it last year, being a freshman now, and I remember Miss Delori being there and talking to me a lot about the different things. So I think she may have a big part in organizing it.
Okay, so I think I can reach out to Miss Delori about this and just see just learn more about it and see if we could be able to participate in that. Because I think that would be a great way to really reach the new freshmen.
Do you
And
remember what it was called, Madeline?
I don't, unfortunately.
I think
I
it might
don't.
have-
'Cause I remember it had a big part of like with sports was a big main thing. So they
Oh,
might
is it-
also like us bringing in more academic, because I remember there was like one table with all of the academic clubs. So they might like expanding that.
was it Warrior Pride Night? Was that what it was called?
That, yeah, that sounds
Okay,
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
I think so.
remember. What were you saying, Ahmed?
I was gonna say that, and I was gonna say that I think around this time the freshmen are supposed to be having their open house. I don't know if it's some place that clubs can like go to and kind of advertise. Or we could even tell teachers to add just mention youth council or put a poster on their board, put like flyers in their classrooms.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe even like a QR code
Ideas.
for our Instagram, stuff like that.
Mhm. So going back to, yes, I've definitely, so I will reach out to Mr. Laurie to talk about, to see if we could get a position in this. And going back to and I feel, and Ahmed just reiterated it when he said the QR codes, about potentially, so when we're doing, so I will set up a flyer with the QR codes and I'll be in correspondence with all of you to get this out, and then we'll get it approved by the high school to get it hung up. So is there anything else in regards to the youth interest survey? Or yeah, is there anything else?
I unfortunately do have to jump off.
All right. Thank you for coming, Madeline.
Thank you so much.
All right, so the next item that I have down is for Snow Angels promotion. I don't really have much to speak on this. I wanted to know from you, Vanessa, are there any updates in regards to Snow Angels? Because I know that at the last meeting, we weren't sure if the blurb went into the daily item. So do you know if it was able to go in?
Yeah, so I reached out to Catherine, and I don't personally, like my family doesn't get it to our house.
Mhm.
Sometimes I try to look online, but they don't always like post the full newspaper, which is kind of a bummer. But she said that it went out, I think, on December 22nd. So I think it should have been in that copy. Sorry, someone just tried to call me. And also she had, I think, her intern connect some of the seniors with students, and I think we got a few more seniors added to the list, or it like the numbers are still varying a little bit. And she said that she was going to specifically post something on like the Facebook mom like group saying like, oh, if you live in this area, we're looking for someone, kind of specifically looking for people, because now we know pretty much like all of the seniors that we have. So she's kind of pinpointing and getting the finer details worked out. So I haven't seen the full list of like each connection between senior and student, but I think on her end, and I'll have to check in with her, she's kind of getting it all organized.
Oh, you froze for a second, Vanessa. I think that you left off on the part where you said, just Catherine pinpointing the finer details. I don't know if you said anything. I don't know what you said after that.
No, that was pretty much it. Just that there might be little shifts, but I haven't checked in with her too much, but I know that she's kind of fine tuning it.
All right. Okay, that sounds amazing. I'm really happy that it's really taken off with the snow angels. And it's surprising that we haven't had a major storm yet to really to shovel. But I think that it's great that it's really moving forward. So with that, if there's nothing more on the snow angels, the next item would be to determine our next meeting date. So I will send out a doodle poll to all of you to determine this. And then does anyone have anything else to say that was not previously covered under any of the agenda items?
So just to recap, what are some of the ideas that we're thinking about posting on social media, just so that I remember?
Yeah. So for some of the things that we're going to post on social media, so we're going to post the meet the members, the ones that have not been posted yet, and figuring out how to do that on Facebook. Our outreach regarding the high school experiences, potentially using Instagram Reels for that. And also posting about the high school vote, the open town meeting, and the special election. We're going to do some posts about the MLK Day in conjunction with the Wakefield Human Rights Commission, and also with some other holidays to fill in the gaps in our posting. We're going to try to work with WAVE, the Wakefield Alliance Against Violence, to promote their meeting on January 19th. And we're also going to work, we're going to try to do some posts for February, which is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. And then we talked about, that was all for social media. And then we just talked just about like the actual like posting like flyers around the school.
Yeah, that sounds good. I just wanted to write it down so that I remembered. And definitely, I think reposting too would be just a great thing to like keep on our mind too.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So with that, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
So now I call down the roll. So Ahmed,
Yeah.
Vanessa,
Yes.
and myself, yes. So we are unanimously adjourned. Thank you all for coming. This was really productive, and I'll be following up with all of you just to follow up with some of the stuff that we talked about. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.